Hi, Elevate parents. I wanted to give you a quick update of what we've been doing in Elevate Club. Um, Obviously, I could have called a meeting and tried to get everyone there, but as lots of people are on holiday and people are free different nights of the week, I thought this would be a better way of communicating. And I think communication is really important because we want to collaborate with you, work as a team to help support the students. Here I've got a slide just telling you why I'm doing this. And I've not done this before, so please bear with me if technically it's not great. And also, I always ask you to bear with me because I'm so dyslexic, I can't see my own spelling errors. I thought we'd just review why we have Elevate clubs and then tell you what we've done to date, explain why I did a dyslexia screen on each of the children, and the research that I've done into products to use next term and then next year. So that's my plan and that's why I'm doing it. Um, if you have any questions, obviously, if we did have a meeting, you could stop me at any point and ask questions. But this way, you can watch it whenever you want. Not so easy to ask questions. So I would say you can email me on the email I've given here. But I've also put some phone times available, maybe when you're at lunchtime at work or in the evening on Tuesday or Wednesday. So if you have any questions, if you call me on that number, my mobile number at those times, we will be able to talk and I hope I can answer any questions. And if that doesn't suit but you still have questions, then email me and I'll do my best to accommodate. So why do we have Elevate Club? If you came to the presentation I did before we got started, it's really that regular school doesn't provide the support that dyslexics need to thrive, and we want to give them the additional support that will help them achieve their potential in formal exams. And we really want to help them have a great self-esteem. So we try to teach differently, which we think is the way to go. And we did talk when I spoke before we started that if we don't deal with dyslexia and explain the strengths and weaknesses and why it's harder to get good grades in exams and in homework, then it can lead to a real awful spiral in the performance gap between your regular student and your dyslexic student. And I'm sure many of you have witnessed this. So all of your kids are going to have to sit formal exams. And truthfully, while they're at a disadvantage, it doesn't mean that they can't do well. And it really is worth trying because so many of them will really excel in higher education or the real world of work. But without those GCSE and maybe A-level qualifications, it's very, very hard to enter some of these careers where they will do very, very well. So we want to try and help them to start preparing early so they can really reach their potential in GCSEs. So our goal is to help them achieve that potential. We want to increase their confidence and their expectations. We want to make learning more enjoyable, and we want to do all this before the workload of school increases as it does in year 10 onward. So if we think of year 10 and 11, they have to attend all the lessons, take some good notes in those lessons, complete all their coursework, then create revision notes. They need to learn and then they need to do past papers. And really you want to be doing past papers for the last month. So that's the way you do well in GCSE exams. But there's lots of other skills that students really need to learn in order to, well, dyslexic students need to learn in order to do well in exams. So the whole area of access arrangements we can't go into now, but that is something to talk to your SENCO about, checking that they have the right access arrangements for your children in end of school exams, but end of term exams, but also in their GCSEs. In order to be able to revise, they've got to have great revision notes. So we teach them how to create good revision notes in the tutor-led sessions. They need to be able to read quickly and accurately, and that's where a lot of the IT comes in, because it gives them a lot of practice in reading quickly and checking their accuracy and their comprehension. More and more spelling and grammar marks are important. In English GCSE, it's 20% of the mark now. So improving spelling and grammar before they start doing GCSE syllabuses is a really good idea. And also teaching children to memorize, and it is really important. All of the children almost in the group have a poor working memory, and there's things that you can do to help improve working memory. In fact, research says that it can be improved up until the age of 15. So we're really keen to do that, because if you can improve working memory, it helps in so many other areas. And then we also want to teach each of the students how to learn facts, because schools are great at teaching history and biology and maths, but they often assume that children know how to learn, and that is often not the case. Plus, how one student learns can be very different to another student. So we're helping them in the tutor-led sessions really explore how they learn best and them to practice. Also in the tutor-led sessions, we are helping them to write legibly and quickly, which is very important when taking notes and an exam time. And we're teaching them to touch type efficiently, because hopefully they will be able to have the access arrangements to touch type, and that will be a huge advantage for them when they come to do their GCSEs. So they're all the areas behind uh, Elevate Club, and really in years 10 and 11 they are very busy just with coursework, so we're trying to get these other skills in place before they get into year 10 if at all possible. So what we've done so far is we've had talks with them on how, even though it's difficult, dyslexics really can achieve a lot at school. And I hope they've been encouraged by that and motivated by that. And so they don't give up, but do try. We've tried to introduce positive role models. We've talked about real people, and we've seen videos of famous people who are dyslexic but extremely successful in their careers. We've talked about the advantages of touch typing, and I hope that motivates them to practice at home, because no one is going to touch type or learn to touch type just doing it once a week. There are huge advantages of touch typing, but they do need to practice. So we have been doing practicing of touch typing. They've had tutor-led classes that have taught them about organization, and we're starting to look at how to learn. We were supposed to be using a product called Reading Road, but the owner of the company died, and his wife, his widow, didn't want to continue. So I have been searching for new literacy solutions to help with reading, grammar, comprehension, fluency, spelling. So that's what I've been doing, and I've been trialing those with the children, because it's giving them the opportunity to try before we commit and buy, so they can find something that suits them. What I've also done is I've done dyslexia screening with them all, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I did it. I know that you all probably know that your children are dyslexic, but these screens help me by identifying strengths and weaknesses. And then if I realize everyone had a weakness in a particular area, then that would become my priority. And so I found solutions in those areas, and also they give me baseline results in which against which we can measure progress. And the other thing I love about these screens is they're very easy for the students to understand themselves, because we want to help them be self-aware, because this will equip them to self-advocate through school and through life. So that's very helpful. And I've done 2 dyslexia screens on your children. Dyslexia Quest, which is what I normally used, and then as I did research, I found something else called Dyslexia Gold, which measured some slightly different areas. So I thought that would be interesting as well, as it was quick. So each student has done these screens, and I will send you their individual results in a separate email. But here is a summary of the findings for the whole group. I've taken the students' names out, and where I have highlighted in yellow is where they basically got a score of under 55%. So they're sort of low average or poor in those areas, and or at least that's what I did with Nessie. Dyslexia Gold scores slightly differently. So anywhere where it was poor, I have shown it as a yellow, and where there was contradiction between the results is where I've highlighted in green. But I think it's safe to say that every child really could do with improving working memory, and that is worth concentrating on, because working memory, if you can improve that, can improve maths, English, spelling, organisation, so it is worth investing. Phonological awareness, which all of them did very badly on with Nessie, and did badly on the whole with Dyslexia Gold. These different types of memory, these were, or it was some were strong, some were weak, so I'm not so worried about those. Processing speed, the majority had issues with processing speed, and eye tracking, almost all of them had problems eye tracking, and there were only 2 students that seemed to have problems with auditory discrimination. I won't try to handle auditory discrimination at all in class because of that, but I will speak to those parents individually and give them some tips for what they can do to help their children. So based on the screening tests, next term we'll be working on working memory, phonological awareness, and then improving reading and eye tracking. But I did want to talk to you about eye tracking. With eye tracking, they wear 3D glasses, and they fire at targets. I think all of them need it. I have terrible 3D vision, and I really find it very hard to do, but I wish I'd had the opportunity to do this when I was a child, because I think it would have really helped me later on in life. So a lot of the children aren't keen on doing it, but I would really recommend them doing so anyway. But I mention all of these to you because, as with touch typing, all these solutions will require a commitment from home. I will be asking all of the children to practice at home, and would really value you supporting me doing this. So I've said what we'll be working on next term. Now, none of these solutions are free. Well, touch typing is free, but other than that, we need to pay for them, and I'm negotiating prices with suppliers, and I haven't totally finalized it yet, but we don't want to collect fees for the sessions and then do a separate fee for IT later. So what I'm suggesting is we collect £30 for the half term for all the different IT solutions. I'm hoping it will come in under £30, and if that is the case, then we can refund the difference to you or take it off next half term's bill. I think that will make more sense. So that's what I am proposing, but I want to let you know this before you get your bills, and they will be coming to you imminently. I will continue to reward students for any work done at home, so hopefully stopping you having to nag them, but I'll do that for you. And I will be collating feedback, so if you feel strongly that you don't want them to do something, or you do want them to do something, then I would ask you please to let me know as soon as possible. And I will ask all the students how they feel about different solutions, and I will go with what the majority want and what I feel is best. I won't be having different solutions for different children. It's just too hard to keep them on track if they're all doing different product or working on different products. So I'm currently negotiating prices. The working memory solution I'm looking at costs about £12 a month. The phonical awareness is £8 a month. eye tracking £8 a month, but I'm negotiating with each of these suppliers to get reduced prices, and I feel confident I'll be able to do that, which is why I think I'll be able to get it under £30 or £30 for the half term. So I am doing my best to negotiate good prices. So if you have any questions or feedback, I'd be very, very grateful if you could get in touch with me. I hope that you're happy with that. I hope your children are enjoying it and that they're finding them helpful, and that you will go on and reap the benefits. So do contact me on my mobile or via email if you have any questions.